Let me ask you something, and I want you to actually think about it before you answer. Can your body do what it's doing right now for another 10 years? Not should it, not you will somehow push through it, but can it? Because if you're a man over 50 and your income still depends on showing up somewhere physically every single day, I want to have a real conversation with you. Not a motivational speech and not a highlight reel of someone who's figured it all out, but a real one. The kind most people won't have with you because, well, it's uncomfortable. Because it's going to touch on things men don't usually say out loud. So, I'm going to say them. There's a zone that a lot of men find themselves in, and it's somewhere between 50 and 62. And it's one of the loneliest places I know of. You're not old, and nobody's going to call you old. But you're not 35 either. And your body is starting to have a different conversation with you than it used to. It's not dramatic, and it doesn't happen all at once. It's the knees at the end of a long shift that didn't used to bother you. It's that back that used to reset overnight. Now it takes a couple of days. It's the sleep that changed on you without any warning. That stress that lands heavier. The recovery that keeps taking a little longer every year. You can still do the job, and I want to be clear about that. But the margin for you is thinner than it used to be. And somewhere inside you, I think you already know that. That's the thing nobody talks about. And not your coworkers, and not your boss. Not the people in your life who depend on you because you're the guy that always handles things. You're not supposed to be the one who says, I'm not sure how much longer I can do this. No, you don't say that. You take the ibuprofen, you get up, you go. And I respect that, genuinely do. But I also want to tell you that toughness, as real as it is, can become the thing that works against you if you let it run on this autopilot too long. Now here's what makes this harder. It's not just your body changing. The world around you, it's changing at the same time. Now, I felt this personally, so I'm not theorizing. There's a quiet pressure in a lot of workplaces, never said out loud, never put in writing anywhere, that favors somebody younger, somebody cheaper, someone they can run hard for the next 15 years without too many questions. They won't say it to your face, but you feel it. You feel it when a position opens up and it goes to somebody half your experience. You feel it when the job postings keep using the word adaptable, and you understand exactly what they mean by that. When you feel it's your company talking about restructuring, efficiency, more with less. You've given years to this. You know your job better than most people in the entire building. And somehow, that still doesn't feel like the security it should. It's not paranoia. That's a man reading the room correctly. So let me be honest about you with something personal. Because my own health history, my former size, what that did to my joints over time, and I have a mid-stomach hernia that I'm managing now. That heavy physical work is not something I can build my future upon anymore. And that's not easy to say. A man doesn't want to feel like his body is drawing boundaries around his life. There's something about it that feels like losing, like admitting somehow you're not supposed to admit it. But here's what I've learned. Your body, it's not betraying you. It's actually informing you. And if you listen to it early enough, while you still have options, while you still have a paycheck giving you a runway, you can plan. And you can build something and move on your terms. But if you wait too long, the body stops informing you and starts deciding for you. And I'd rather be in the first category, and I think you would too. Now let's talk about the physical job specifically. If you work for a warehouse, a factory, trucking, logistics, maintenance, construction, retail, healthcare support, anywhere your body is part of the equation, you already understand something that someone behind a desk may not fully grasp. Your income and your physical condition are connected. If one breaks down, the other one's going to be in trouble. And there's no cushion built into that system for you. No graceful transition period. No, take a few weeks and come back on reduced capacity. When men in physical jobs hit the wall, whether it's injury, illness, or just cumulative wear, the options narrow that list. And then there's the car, okay? Think about what that vehicle actually means to your life right now. It's not just transportation. It holds everything together. It's how you get to work, and it's how you earn. And if you're running any kind of gig work on the side, delivery, rideshare, whatever you're doing to bridge the gap, that same car is taking a beating while you depend upon it completely. Your gas, your insurance, tires, repairs, maintenance. And it has to keep running because if it doesn't, nothing else does either. That's a fragile setup, and most men know they're living inside without calling it what it is. And there's something else I want you to sit with. A lot of men have a quiet backup plan in their head that goes something like this. You know what? I'll do the hard physical work as long as I can. And when I can't anymore, I'll shift to something easier. I'll take that retirement job, dispatch, scheduling, admin, something the same industry, but less demanding on my body. And I understand that plan, and it makes sense on paper. But that middle layer, the softer second act, is exactly where AI and automation are moving right now. Not the dramatic stuff, not the robots replacing surgeons, the everyday stuff. Scheduling, dispatch, basic customer service, order processing, data entry, logistics coordination, claim support. That layer, it's getting thinner. Not gone, but thinner. And that makes what was part of your plan, well, and now you got something else nobody was saying honestly enough. Getting hired into a remote role right now, it's not as simple as people make it sound. The market, it's crowded. The filters are automated. You can have 30 years of real-world experience and not even get an interview because an algorithm filtered you out before you even got a chance. That doesn't mean your knowledge has no value. It means the traditional hiring system may not be the best bridge to that second chapter. Now, the part of why I started looking at, building something of my own, not because entrepreneurship is easy, because it's not, but because I have a better shot building something around what I know and what I've lived and who I can help than waiting for a system to give me permission to start over. And also, we got to talk about this. This video, it's not me telling you, quit your job, move to another country. Because that's not the answer. And it's not the first move. Anyone selling you that is a quick fix. Hey, you know what? They're shot as far as I'm concerned. I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm still managing a house. Still dealing with real obligations, real costs, family responsibilities. And I'm not talking to you from a beach somewhere telling you how it all worked out perfectly. No. I'm talking to you from inside the same reality you're in. And what I've come to understand slowly, the hard way, is that the goal isn't escape. The goal is options. Right now, for a lot of men in this position, there's just one lane. Show up, perform, get paid, repeat. And if anything interrupts that lane, your body, your employer, your car, your health, family emergencies, the economic stuff, there's nothing behind that. That's not a plan. That's a tightrope with no net. So what does an actual plan look like? It's not a perfect one, and it's not a fantasy. It's a practical one. First thing you need to know is what your actual number. What does it cost you to live each month? Now, honestly, with everything included. Most men, when they sit down, add it up for real, they're surprised. Not by any single thing, but at all being together. That number is the foundation of every decision that comes after it. The second thing is figuring out what part of what you already know and can travel with you. I'm going to call this the blue collar bridge. You might not be able to do your exact job remotely, but your knowledge is more portable than you think. A man who spent 15 years in logistics doesn't just know how to move freight. He knows how problems happen, how delays cascade, and customers react, and how to fix those things under pressure. That knowledge has real value, and that's not just another delivery thing. A truck driver understands timing, freight, communications, and what's wrong, and the foundation. A maintenance tech understands systems, diagnostics, how to explain technical problems to people who aren't technical. There are businesses and roles that actually need that. A healthcare support worker understands stressful conversations, insurance confusion, patient communication, scheduling under pressure, and that translates. Same knowledge, different delivery, and that is the bridge. The third thing is understanding your geographic options, not an escape fantasy, but as a math problem. What does your life actually cost you where you're at right now? What would it cost you if you were somewhere else? What happens to your monthly number if it's cut down by a third, by half? Because you build even a partial second income, something portable, something that isn't entirely dependent on your physical presence, and your fixed costs drop at the same time. That math changes the way that you won't fully appreciate until you've laid it out. Maybe you don't need to grind 50 hours a week just to stay even. Maybe your body gets a little breathing room. Maybe your nervous system gets a little quieter. Maybe that second chapter becomes something you can actually build instead of something that happens to you. But only if you start before the crisis. And that's the thing I keep coming back to. The men who end up okay, not wealthy, not genuinely okay, with real options and some peace, they're the ones who started building the second lane while their first one was still running. Not after the injury forced out, not after the layoff, not after the savings are gone and the options had already narrowed, but before. While they still had time, while they still had a paycheck, while they still had the ability to make a move on their own terms instead of reacting to someone else's decision. A planned move at 53, strategy. A desperate move at 59, that becomes survival mode. And I know which one I'd rather be making. So, this conversation, is it hitting close to home? If you're seriously thinking about what your next chapter's gonna look like, whether that's staying and stabilizing, building a hybrid plan, or eventually exploring moving abroad, hey, reach out to me directly. And I mean this genuinely. I'm having real conversations right now with men who are actually facing these same decisions. Not trying to sell you anything and not trying to push some program. Because the more real situations I hear, the real income numbers, the real health concerns, the real family obligations, just the real fears, the better I can make what I'm building for my future. And that's more useful than I can actually end up being. So if you want someone to help you think through it honestly and look at the numbers, the healthcare, the visa realities, the income plan, the risks, the email's in the description below. And this is no consulting fee. It's just a real mano-a-mano conversation. And here's what I want to leave you with. Your body, it's already talking to you. Your finances, they're already talking to you. That job market, it's already talking to you. The only question is whether you're going to listen now while you still have room to move, or later when the options are whatever's left. Build that bridge now. Not because you're giving up on what you've built, because you're paying attention to what comes next. Because if you're too old to keep grinding the way you did at 35, and too young just to wait it out until 65, then you're exactly the man who needs a plan. And the time to build, it's right now. I'm Rob. This is the Expat Review. Real help, real plans, real options in this conversation. If this meant something to you, hey, subscribe, because this is what we do here. And if you're ready to start stress testing that second chapter, like I say, reach out. The country isn't the whole answer, but the plan is. All right, that's all I have for you today. As always, I want you to take care, and I'll see you in the next one.